Welcome back. Today I'm going to work on this little peacock mold that I have. I think I might create this and then I'm going to create a sign or a board with something that about a saying about a peacock. So as you can see, if you look closely, you can see in the tail there's like these little round indents. And that gave me the idea that I think I will use some of these little beads in there. I had a package I had gotten of these all sorted different beads like this at the dollar store. So I thought this would be a good time to use them. Now I'm going to use UV resin to attach these. And I'm going to put a little bit of UV resin, excuse me, in. Actually, I might just put the bead in and then add, no, I think I'll put the UV resin in first and try that. And then cure it from both sides. Now, this isn't really a see-through mold, but I think it's see-through enough that I should be able to get that light to come through the back. We'll go ahead and get started. Let me grab my UV resin and my light, and we'll see how this works. All right, I have my UV resin and my light, so let's go ahead and try one of these. I'm just going to put a dab of UV resin. Maybe I'll do a couple of these to start with and cure them to see how they work. Okay, so that's the bottom of the tail. So let's go ahead and add some of these little rhinestones. I don't know what you would call these. Like a faceted crystal. So I'm just taking them, I'm turning them around because they are a different color on the bottom. They have that silver on the bottom. And there's some different color ones in here, so I'll probably mix them up a little bit. The darker blues with some of the lighter ones. Get a hold of it. And we'll just continue with this. I also have these pearly ones like this, but I don't think I'll use those right now. I think I'll stick to these crystals instead. I can get my tweezers to work for me. All right, that one doesn't, there we go. And then once I get these secured in, my thought is to then use probably like a chameleon powder to do some coloring in this and then back it with the black. So the hope is that putting the UV resin in here underneath of it, so that when you add the black, it can't seep underneath the crystal and block it. Try my fingers here because that is giving me a hard time. There we go. Okay, I'm going to cure this from the front for 90 seconds, and I'm going to flip it over and cure it from the other side for 9 seconds. So I will be right back. Okay, they seem to be stuck pretty good. So while I was waiting for those to cure, I went looking through my diamond painting stash and found some more colors of the crystals. So I think I'll add some of these other colors kind of like in a row as they move up. So the next ones I'll try are these kind of like a little, let's see if you can focus on, little iridescent color. So I'm going to do the net row of 4 of those, and then I'm going to switch to the purple and the orange, and I'll probably do blue again. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue on with this and then carrying after each time. You've seen how I did those first ones, so I'm going to pause the video while I finish adding these beads, and I'll be back when I am done. The beads are all added in, and I also did a blue one for the eye and a little orange one for the beak. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to show up. So I'm going to use some chameleon powders on a peacock. The necks are like a greenish color. So I'm going to use this one. These are by Nick Pro, and this is green. Can't read that. Green blue, I think. Golden blue. So I'm going to use that one. And I'm going to use this one called gold, no, not that one. This one called pale gold green blue. So I'm going to get both of those out, and I'm going to start here on the neck. I'm just going to get this all painted in. Make sure we're doing the sides. Just going to turn it a bit. Make sure it's getting in all those little crevices. Okay, and then I'm going to move more to this gold part for the goldish blue for the neck part. Again, just making sure I'm getting in all the sides. I'm being generous with it. Getting down into that beak area. And I think for the little plumage on the top, I'm not sure what color that normally is on a peacock, but I think I'll try this color here. I mean, we don't have to be exactly realistic. Okay. Now for the feathers, we're going to use some of the same colors, and we're going to add in some other colors as well. So I'm going to start down at the bottom and kind of do some different colors like I did with the stones. There we go. Sorry guys, you couldn't see. All right, so we're just kind of adding the colors in. I'm not going to be fully careful here on, you know, I don't want straight lines between them. Trying to think of what to do with this when I'm done with it. I think I might maybe make like a little plaque out of it. I'll have to look through my craft supplies and see what I have. And find some saying that would go with a peacock. There we go. So our next step is I'm going to mix up some black resin and pour it in. Okay, I have my black resin mixed up. I'm using, for my black, I'm using this black pigment powder from Recollections, which is, I get mine from Michael's. So I'm just going to pour this in. Now, normally with this much detail, I'd probably want to give this a spritz, but with the chameleon powders, a spritz of the isopropyl alcohol, but with the chameleon powders, I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to pour slowly, give it an opportunity to make its way into all of the peacock. Okay, I'm just going to pause to let it fill in. You can see it's slowly making its way into the head. I'll probably have to help it out a little bit. So I'm just going to use my little tool, and without touching the mold, or trying not to touch the mold, kind of coax it in there and into these little crevices here. There's a couple up here. Get it over to this side. I might have poured a little bit too much. That's okay. And I'm going to get some of the bubbles out. I'm not that worried. This is the back of it, so probably get a spritz of alcohol to break that surface tension, and then we're going to let it dry. So I'll see you tomorrow. Let's see how this turned out. So I'm going to have some trimming to do, I can see, but I'm hoping that those jewels show up. Oh, just a second. Let me get this trimmed off. Okay, I got it trimmed up. Look how beautiful this is. So if you look close, you can see I put that little jewel in the beak and the little one that I put in its eye. And then the beautiful tail with those crystals in it. I think this turned out really nice. Very pleased with it. You can see those up close. Pretty little decor. Even if you were the type of person to wear like a larger brooch, you could put the brooch piece on the back and wear that as a brooch too. I wouldn't wear a brooch that large, but I think that turned out really nicely. All right, thanks for joining me. We'll see you in the next one.